Warning, this podcast contains our own free will.
No, it doesn't.
Whose will?
I'm reading off a script.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the ASOTV podcast for Legends of Tomorrow, Season 1, Episode 15, Destiny. I'm your host, Clio. With me, I have Dom and Rachel.
Where was her child this episode?
Whose child?
Destiny's.
Destiny's Child. You don't get Destiny's Child. Hello.
I get Destiny's Child. I'm giving him a dumb look because it was a dumb joke.
It really was.
Oh, and whose will wasn't?
It was. That's why I did the face palm. That's why I did the
So she
face
got a
palm.
face palm, I get a dumb look.
Yep.
Cool.
It's just trying to make it equal here, people. We have to start with the end. Why start? Why?
I would much rather lose Mick, just saying.
It's timey-wimey stuff. You never know when he's actually...
Should have lost Rip.
Oh, you're on board now, Cleo. You're on board. I like it.
Over Snart, 100%.
Yeah.
Over Snart.
But
yeah.
This is definitely not the last one. Rachel actually posted an article in a group that we all use to discuss things, and it was announcing that he was going to be on the collective CW shared universe. So next season, so that means he'll make appearances in Flash, Arrow, and Legends of Tomorrow, as well as Supergirl now.
How's he gonna do that if he's dead?
Right.
Dead.
It's
exactly.
a timey-wimey...
Yes,
shows no one's
there's
ever truly
timey-wimey
dead.
stuff, but I'm thinking it's more along the line of the Oculus might have sent him somewhere.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think it exploded. Like, yes, the planet and everything, whatever the vanishing point exploded, whatever was around him. But I think actually went somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's because he was so close to it, might have sucked him in, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Kind of put him in.
And I mean, when Rip saw Ray dying, which could still happen, he was sort of being like chunks of him were coming off, sort of like something that happened in the Flash that I'm not going to mention because I don't want to spoil the Flash.
Yeah. Well, no. It's collective universe. If you're not if you didn't watch the Flash, that's your own fault.
It's your own damn fault.
We're warning you now.
We did warn.
But
We
yeah,
warned spoilers.
He's gonna be a TV hopper.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
but
I understand.
The point I wanted to make was we saw that happen to Ray's face, but we didn't see that happen to Snart's face when.
Right.
No, it was just a big boom.
Yeah, just for clarification purposes, it's one thing to talk about Game of Thrones spoilers on a Legends podcast because you'd be really upset if you found something out. But when we're talking about something that's in the shared collective universe, like if it's in Flash, Arrow, it's fair game at this point, I think. So if you're upset, I'm sorry, but you should be watching the other
There's
shows.
that warning that there's spoilers, so you have been warned.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that Snart did not become the Oculus.
It's not.
Ooh, what if he is the Oculus? And, that's his new persona.
Oh, see now we're borrowing from the Flash.
Yeah.
Flash did not have the Oculus, but similar.
Yeah, I don't think he's.
Every
dead.
time they mention the
I think he was
Oculus.
close enough.
Yeah. Every time they mention the Oculus, I was like, Rift? Are we gonna VR?
Yes.
VR?
Yep.
VR party?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Couldn't
So.
help it.
Omi in chat said the Oculus sucked him in and sent him places. Maybe it dropped him back in his original timeline.
Now that they can't control the time anymore, I wonder if they're going to put their younger selves back in the timeline.
Yeah, they should if they don't want to mess up time any more than they already have.
Well, it's not only that they don't have to worry about the Time Masters manipulating time. The Time Masters are dead.
Pretty much.
Not all of them.
There's a
Not
group
all
of
of
them
them.
that exists somewhere, but it's basically
There's-
the ones that were not at the vanishing point.
Well, that was just one ship in the vanishing point. That was not all of the.
It's
Like,
not
that wasn't.
Oh, I
yeah.
thought it was a building that was on the.
It was
space
one.
station.
It's one building. It's like one building and a group of buildings.
It's like a Deep Space Nine size building,
Gotcha.
which is a ship. God damn it!
Well,
Where'd everybody go?
I ain't go nowhere. I'm right here.
I don't know.
Why
Skype
is my
just said,
screen so
screw you?
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, no, it was just like a ship in the vanishing point. I guess in the fleet of
Time Master.
Time Lord ships. Time Master ships. Damn it.
It's hard. It's really
yeah,
hard.
I know. I try
But
so
there's-
hard when I try so
there's
hard when I
so
talk
many-
about the show.
But in the
There's
end,
so
it
many
doesn't even matter.
parallels. It's really hard. And there's
Dumb,
so many
see the
parallels.
face I'm
It's really
making
hard.
at you right now.
I don't know. Can you guys hear us? Because you probably can't see
Yeah.
us yet.
No, they can see you guys.
There-
Not
My
Cleo.
camera's on. I don't know why it's just not.
It's on. I see it.
It take.
Yeah.
I mean, it even took mine a little while to come back.
Oh, there we go. Okay. What is happening?
It's dark. Don't worry about it.
It's dark.
It's Damien
Okay.
Dark.
It's Damien Dark. Anyway, moving on. Yes, Nart sort of taking the place of Ray, and then, Mick is kind of like an FU to Destiny. Like, Destiny's the name of the episode.
Mhm.
Destiny's what the Time Masters are saying you can't control, and Snart's just like, fuck you. I do what I want.
Mhm.
He's like, I ain't got no strings. I was like, oh, how
my
very
God.
Pinocchio of you.
No. If that song already isn't very, very creepy to me now, thank you, Ultron, by the way. Yeah, that
Let's
song's
use
never
all
gonna
the puns
mean what it
from
used to mean.
Pinocchio. Yeah.
Yeah. But they were talking about strings earlier in the episode.
Yeah.
It made sense.
It made sense.
They could have made a Metallica Master of Puppets reference.
You're right.
That would have been better.
And
So too.
so apparently Snart is a really good thief because he did get a kiss from Sarah.
Well, no, she said you're gonna have to be a really good thief if you're going to steal a kiss from me, and he didn't steal one from her. She gave one to him. So,
Yeah.
I guess it depends on how you.
he wasn't a good thief. He was a good hero.
Mm-hmm.
Which, don't let him hear you call him that.
Why? That's just like speculation on their point.
That's
or
true.
on their part. Like
But I'm sure he would have. I'm sure he would have had something to say. Be like,
Of course, he would
Yeah,
have
so-
something to
Yo,
say,
some-
but
Snark.
I think when it comes down to it, he wanted to be a hero, and that's why he did what he did. So I don't think he'd
Nice.
actually, truly, deep down, be upset. Like he might.
He wouldn't be upset, but he'd have to make the face. He'd
Yeah.
have to, keep up that front. He can't go soft. Kind of like with Mick and Ray. You tell people I like them, and I'm gonna shave your head.
Mhm.
that was great. That was so funny.
I mean, he's stronger than we thought. I mean, Mick survived induction twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. At first it was hate, and this time it was love. He loves his teammates. Yay.
So the one thing I was actually really happy about this episode was we actually got the reason why Vandal and the Time Lords were doing what they were doing, or the Time Lords anyway.
Because they played too much and shit went down, and this was the only way they could figure out how to fix what they did.
Well, no, it wasn't that.
No,
it
yeah,
was,
it wasn't that.
it was the aliens.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but now that they're taking out
Aliens.
the time, they're not coming. So I'm just wondering if it was because
No.
the Time Lords were playing around a little too much, and that's what the future ended up being. And if they
no.
never played in it in the first place, they wouldn't have-
I don't know if you guys remember a couple episodes ago when we were talking about the origins of Hawkman and Hawkgirl.
Mhm.
They are canonically usually Thanagarians.
Right.
That's usually what they are. And and Thanagar coming to Earth, waging war. I mean, that can't be a coincidence. That has to be. They have to have been always going to come.
Mm-hmm.
But now
because
they're
the
not.
meteorite is from Thanagar.
Right.
Well, yeah. But now they said that they're not. So I don't know.
I don't think they said that.
When they were talking to Savage, yeah, he's like, "Well, now we can't help you because now that's not going to happen because they can't control that."
I
don't remember that part.
Yeah, I think they're still coming. I think they're still coming,
well,
but
they weren't coming for another 70 years or something like that.
I think what they were saying is that the Time Masters can't help Savage hold his army for another 70 years to then fight the Thanagars.
That's not what I got, but okay.
I don't know. I wasn't under the impression that they weren't coming anymore, but they didn't say that they still were either, so I may have just missed something. But
no, I'm pretty sure they're coming anyway. It's just the Time Masters now will no longer have any control.
I don't know. It way that I swear, because I just got done watching it like less than half an hour ago. I swear that's what he said.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that would be because the Time Masters wanted to, have an army against them, so that's why they used Savage.
But but they were controlling everything. But if they can't control anything, then why would they come?
Because they were going to come anyway.
But we don't know that because they were controlling the future.
I see what Rachel's saying is that they were manipulating time to make them come, but we don't know if they did that. We don't know if they manipulated time to make them come because it seemed like they were manipulating the events and everything regarding Rip and Vandal and all that to get Vandal to be the one to rise up and.
But what if them manipulating the time to get Vandal to rise is what caused them to come in the first place?
It's possible. I just didn't get that impression. So.
And it's impossible for us to know what happened first.
Right.
And what they changed and when they changed it, so.
Right.
And I mean, that kind of explains a bit of why things happen before people go back in time and change them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that was a thing we discussed a while ago. It's because Time Masters. Wibbly wobbly Time Masters.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little confusing, this one, with just like how much of it was really them. But then because they're in the vanishing point, they don't have control over their what they're doing.
The vanishing point exists outside of time, so everything that they were able to do in the vanishing point was their own free will.
Mm-hmm.
And then now with the Oculus gone and they're not able to manipulate time outside of the vanishing point, and that Gideon can't even function correctly to
she doesn't have a map.
Yeah, to preview how time has been altered. So that's going to be interesting to change things up. That's why I'm hoping that the Oculus just went elsewhere. That they don't have a fix on it to have their technology read into it, and I'm hoping that S.T.A.R is with it wherever that Oculus may have moved to.
Well, I mean, I think she can still see some things, but I think it's be hard for her to navigate. You know what I mean? She doesn't have a clear destination because of them blowing it up basically the time stream. So basically the roadways are like under construction.
I think she did drive through it.
But no,
I think navigation's not a problem. I think it's knowing what's different now.
Yeah, it's more like if they go in the past and change something, she won't know the distant future, maybe up to the point in which they're currently at.
Well, I mean, she knew that no matter what the events that they just did not change the effect of his wife and son dying.
Well, that was only because she was reading news reports.
Yeah.
She was scanning news reports and articles. She didn't know that. Yeah, she had to scan for that. So.
Well, what I want is S.T.A.R to get the powers of the Oculus. I think that would be cool.
But that would
Where
be
the Oculus
cool.
Isn't a machine anymore. It's a
person.
It's a person.
Can we really trust S.T.A.R with all that power?
No, that's why I want him to have it.
We trust anyone with that kind of power.
Ooh,
Oh,
probably
yes.
not.
Yes, there are Barry. I could trust Barry with that power.
No!
No.
Kidding me? Can't trust Barry with that.
Yes, I can. Not like
I
we
think
can trust
eventually
Cisco.
it'll corrupt in any
No,
move.
couldn't trust Cisco either. Like I said, you can't trust anybody.
No, it's one of those powers that, you know, if you had that power, it doesn't matter how good you are or how good you think you are using that power, the ultimate power will corrupt.
The only person I know for a fact that we could all agree on trusting is Damien Dark.
So Jax was a badass this episode.
Jax, oh, that was great watching Jax in
Yeah. An old Stein.
Yeah, pre Legends of Tomorrow Stein. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, wow, you were such an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
I know, and he was like trying to tell him, you're overeating. No, I know how to do this. You're just a mechanic. And what happened? He was like,
Guess what? The mechanic learned some quantum physics.
well, you know, he had to work on the Wave Rider, so he had to learn that
exactly.
shit. He had to learn it.
Yeah. And I mean, we talked about him being able to do so much more now that he's had all this experience on the Wave Rider, and he definitely did.
Well, he read the instruction booklet. He read the instruction manual on the Wave Rider.
Smartest man on that ship.
Men don't do that. That's what's so unbelievable about it.
I don't do that.
I do. I read instructions. At least I skim them.
You skim them. You never read them.
It depends. If I'm looking for something very specific, I will read them.
Wait, things come with instructions?
Yes.
What are instructions?
It's an extra piece of paper that comes with the stuff you buy.
Oh, shit.
That has words on it.
I was going to hold up my drill. It's out of reach, though.
I don't think I have any instruction manuals on my
Anyway.
It's that stuff you usually
what else happened in this episode? Oh. We find out. Wow, yeah, no, the time. What was the Time Master dude whose name I don't remember and who is dead now, so it doesn't matter?
Yep, him.
That guy.
But the white one or the black one? Because that other guy got stomped.
Oh, yeah, right, he died too. Oh, man, Mick just stomped his face.
He's like, you remember what I told you I was going to do to you?
I was surprised that Mick was able to prevent the brainwashing from happening.
That's what I said. He survived twice. He's stronger guy than we think. And I just love the fact that guy got what was coming to him. I love the fact that guy got what was coming to him. He was like, shoot him. And he's like, okay. He turns around.
I knew it. I'm like, he's not going to shoot. Smart.
And then the stupid weasel was like, oh, please have mercy on me, kind of thing. I was like, bitch, please. Yeah. And I was like, yes, he stomped his head. And no one looked shocked. Everyone was just like,
no. No one said a thing.
And
nobody tried to stop him.
Okay, it happened. Let's move on.
And to think this whole time, the Time Masters had forced Mick to break his own compulsion because they mastered everything the first time around anyway. They engineered everything to happen the way it happened. So they're the ones that got him to break the compulsion in the first place.
Well, he was in the time stream, so they didn't.
Yeah, I was gonna say both times he broke the compulsion, he was in the vanishing point.
Oh, was he?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I think so.
The second time was it?
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah, the second time.
The first time he was in the vanishing point for years, apparently, or something.
No, yeah, but
he doesn't know how long he was there for, but yeah.
When he broke it, because they were on their way to the vanishing point, I think. I don't remember now.
Either way, Mick's not getting brainwashed.
No.
So
he is more stubborn than that.
Just a little bit.
So yeah, that Time Master, took Rip and was like, look at all this stuff. We control everything. Also, we've been sending Savage to kill your family for like every time you've tried to stop him.
When you said that, look at the stuff, first thing popped in my head, isn't it? This is like, God.
I'm now imagining their faces like photoshopped onto the Little Mermaid.
The way he did it, that was very much what I thought you were going to say next. Because he did. That's exactly. He was like, "Hey, look at this stuff." Isn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of like, look what I'm doing. Basically, that guy, he was basically doing a monologue.
You caught me monologuing.
Exactly. He was just monologuing. He was just like, look, you're going to die anyway, so I'm going to tell you everything that we did.
I'm curious how many times the timeline has actually gone through at this point.
I don't fucking know.
For them to go through and then be like, oh, this doesn't work, and go back and change it, because we know at least at the point that we're at that this is the second time through the timeline. Because Rip had his family killed and then went back to their time. So it's already reached 2146 or whatever one time through, and then Rip went back to get them. And then we also know, because of, on The Flash and the way all of season 1 went down, that was also the second time through the timeline. So I don't know.
I don't think you can count, because we can count for specific groups. But I think if we're looking at the entire timeline, we can't count, because the Time Masters have been fucking around for, God knows how long.
Fingers in it.
Yeah. So we can count for how many times Barry's gone through. We can count for how many times the Wave Rider crew's gone through, but I don't think we can count for everything.
Well, yeah, no, I don't mean every alteration of the timeline. I just mean full times through the timeline. We know for a fact that this is the second time through at least. So
for Savage or for
just in general, because we came to this conclusion when we had the discussion about Eobard on season 1 of The Flash, and we had the whole timeline go through, and then Eobard went back to kill Barry's parents because that didn't happen, whatever. However, it ended up working out because Barry was not supposed to be the Flash for like 10 years, the first time through the timeline. So we know it at least went through the timeline once. Eobard came back, changed it around. So the same thing is happening here, where the timeline goes through once. Rip's family was killed. Rip goes back in time to change it. So that's the second time through the timeline. So I'm thinking that this is the same second time through for both shows. So everything collectively, this is the second time through.
You kind of can't apply that same thing to Legends, because it's jumping around. They're not going through. They're just like
right. I get that, but if
drive by.
My point is, if Rip's family, my point is, if Rip's family was never killed, he never would have went back to do it. So this is still the second time through the timeline.
All right, but Rip said himself he tried many times to save his family, so he didn't just.
I'm not talking about Rip's amount of time through the timeline. I'm talking about time as a whole.
Okay.
I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but
no, I do. But like I said, I don't think you can measure it like that because of how many things. It's still a lot of stuff changes, so I don't think you can measure it like that.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. We know it's at least been 2 times, minimum. There's no more. Sure. It's no less than 2.
Smile and wave, boy. Smile and wave.
Doing all right down there, Rachel?
No, the only reason I'm saying that is Rip never would have been there if the timeline didn't go through once, because his family never would have died.
Yeah.
So this is the second, at least minimum second time through the timeline.
Yeah, no.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay. She was smiling, waving, and I just want to make sure she was hanging in there.
I'm hanging in there.
I really liked the scene with Kendra and Savage, because she knows what he's going to do, and she's trying to stop him, and she uses his first name, his name from when they were Egyptian people, and that guy, he stopped and turned around, and I was like, all right, okay.
But then I just love his where she started laughing in his face when he tried to call the Time Lord. See, there you go.
Oh, but now he has a spaceship, so.
But But
a time ship.
There's probably only so much he can do now that he doesn't have the help. You know what I mean? I mean, he could probably change some things on his own, but without their help, it's not going to be on this huge scale like it has been.
Yeah, but now that he has the time ship, I don't think he wants a huge scale anymore.
No. We'll have to see. They'll stop him probably.
I don't know what he'll do, but he clearly has something maniacal in mind.
No, my question is, and this is probably going to make brains cripple again, if he goes back in the past again, do the Time Lords still have the ability to shape what they've already shaped? Like, is that stuff already predetermined, or is that only applied to the future now that they have their destiny?
I think what they've done is how the world is, but now that the Oculus is out of commission, to change anything, they would have to take a ship and physically go themselves to do anything about anything.
Yeah, no, that's what I get. So, but I mean, like, but is that stuff still set in place because of the way the Time Masters shape things previously, because it is in the past?
What stuff?
Everything that happened in the past.
Yeah, why wouldn't it be?
Because
they were
changing. They exist out of time in the future. Yeah. So is the stuff that they've already changed, is that permanently, like, so now, like, if they decide that they want to go back to just before Savage kills Rip's family again, if they wanted to, can they stop it this time because it's not predetermined?
We don't know.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, I thought you meant the Time Masters.
No,
I meant Time Masters. Okay.
I meant their manipulations.
Probably,
you know, is that
probably
permanent set in stone now, or is it only the future that is destiny, or not destiny? You know what I mean?
I was just going to say,
nothing is destiny.
No, nothing is. We don't know, because they've always been meddling in it, so we don't know the consequences of the Oculus blowing up,
right?
Or coming unhinged or something like that. So we don't know. I'm pretty sure they might delve into that maybe next season. Just kind of, you'll see different ripple effects.
Well, we still have one more episode, so we might.
Well, I'm pretty sure they'll probably definitely address it then.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying we might see in future episodes a ripple effect, kind of.
A rip.
It's probably not huge, just little things.
The joke came to my mind. I didn't think you were actually going to say it out loud. Thank you, Dom.
You're welcome. To say what everybody else is thinking. That's what I'm here for.
So, yeah, to actually answer your question, I think they could change it.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's nothing stopping them now. Because the Time Masters were the ones with their hands in the Oculus stopping them before. Mm-hmm. But now that's not the case.
Right.
But I think guidelines still apply. So, like, you probably shouldn't go back in time to a place where you've been. Because that's getting a little too close to fucking stuff up. Even though Jax just, like, walked up to old Stein, and the previous Stein, and was like, yo, I need your help.
You didn't really have a choice, though, really.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I think now it'll be easier to maybe put things back on track the way they're supposed to, maybe. Or, but it's just one of those things. It's like you don't know really what the ramifications are and how much they can actually change time now that the Time Masters aren't there helping or hindering them. You know what I mean? You don't know exactly how much your actions are going to affect things,
right? Because
the Time Masters had their hands in it, so we don't know how accelerated or how much you can do, what you can and cannot do. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Because apparently
we're gonna find out.
It's all kind of weird dream kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna find out. Next episode is called Legendary: The Final Battle. After the numerous sacrifices the team has made since the beginning of this ride, Rip decides that it's time they each decide their own destiny and returns them to Central City a few months after they first left. Returned to their normal lives, each team member must individually decide if they are willing to sacrifice everything in order to save the world. Meanwhile, Sarah visits her father, who delivers some heartbreaking news about her sister.
Ooh. Okay, so
Shit's
they
going
are
down.
connecting. This is what I was curious if they were actually going to be able to tie Legends into Flash and Arrow and all that stuff with everything that's going on without it feeling forced or disconnected. And it seems like they're going to take the time out on Legends to do that as opposed to trying to integrate each character into their other shows. So that's going to be interesting.
I'm curious what the reason they're going to give for why a few months after. Why not as soon as they left?
Yeah, they'll address it some way. And
With Sarah, it's
we
not
just
necessarily...
know that the answer is going to be because it's been a few months.
Stuff has happened, yeah.
For shows, and they can't just go back and integrate them like they've been there this whole time, because that's not how time travel works for us watching.
Mm-hmm.
They can't just go place them in and be like, "Yep, they were here, and you just didn't remember it until now." They can't do that to us. They actually have that. So that's the technical reason for why. Yeah. But why in the show, we'll find out.
And the only people I can see having a problem with, like, where have you been for the last couple months, is Stein and Jefferson kind of thing, because of his wife and stuff.
And his mother, yeah.
Yeah, but with Sarah, she was already gone.
Yeah, they knew.
Ray was already dead, and he told Ollie and stuff. So Felicity and Ollie already knew that he was leaving. Mick was a loner, so no one's gonna really miss him.
I wonder if we'll see Lisa Snart. I like her a lot. I miss her.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they're the only two that I can see that might be a little problem. Like, where have you been for the last month? We thought you guys were dead, kind of thing,
Also, what the hell? They're just gonna dump everybody back while Kendra's off, like, being abducted by Savage? Like, all right, nice knowing you, bye-bye.
They're definitely gonna go back for them, obviously, because, Yeah. Mick wants to kill someone.
Or they could just be like, you know what? She'll just reincarnate anyway, so it's okay.
Yeah. I liked that a lot, though. That he's like, I got revenge, but I still want to kill somebody.
Yeah, and Aubrey James in chat said, thank God that Kendra and Carter and Vandal wasn't the focal point of this episode. Their story is starting to get on my nerves. I kind of agree.
Well, I mean, with having the main villain being Savage, you kind of have to have them. Yeah. It's just kind of one of those things. They're kind of a package deal.
Right, and that's why I'm hoping that if Vandal is actually stopped, defeated, whatever the case, that we're going to move on next season and, deal with something else, which, I brought up, I believe it was on our Arrow podcast. I had mentioned, they just name-dropped Vixen again. Wouldn't it be great to get Vixen on Season 2 of Legends? Because Constantine is going to be on. We know that much. So to get two people that really focus on magic and stuff would be really interesting. And I feel like at that point, Kendra's not really necessary. Not saying that she can't be on the show. I'm just saying she's not really necessary in terms of the Vandal story. So that whole aspect would be gone. And then having another person on the ship that turns into animals, and stuff like that it's a little similar, but that doesn't mean that she can't still be on the show in places that they go.
And I agreed with you last week, but we have new information now. We're gonna have a war in the future with the Thanagar army,
right? And
that's gonna tie into what gave Carter and Kendra their powers in the first place. Right. So I honestly think that's where they're gonna go next season.
It could be. Yeah, it's a strong possibility, with this new information stuff. I'm hoping it gets resolved sooner than later because I don't know. I want a threat in the past. I don't want necessarily a threat of the future again because I'm a little too disconnected from the future.
But we went to the past also.
No, yes, we're going to the past to get information about the future kind of thing. But I'd rather have something that's more present day timeline for Flash Arrow kind of thing because that's
but
more.
It's Legends of Tomorrow.
No, I get that. But without today, there's no tomorrow either. So, but with that, I'm so disconnected from the distant future that I don't find that interesting personally.
Here's what I want. I want to defeat the Thanagarian army. I want Vandal to have to team up with everybody.
Oof.
It happens in the comics.
Yeah.
He's not always a bad guy.
Yeah, no, I know.
I would love it so much.
See, normally I'm the one that's rooting for the villains. If you go and watch like any shows that we all do together, like I'm the one that's always on board with the villains. I don't find anything about Vandal that I actually like. So
he's so good at being creepy.
Oh well, yeah, yeah. But I just mean like as a character, I don't think he's very interesting for somebody who's lived forever, and he's just, I don't know.
It's like as long as he's lived, he still has those it's like almost he's still stuck in the ancient Egypt times. His brain, the way he thinks, it's kind of weird. It's like as long as you've lived, your brain hasn't evolved, kind of thing. It's just kind of stuck in that primitive, so it makes it kind of weird.
He's always thinking of the technology, and I mean, he came up with that.
Well, yeah, it's still weird. It still feels like he's disconnected from it almost. I don't know. It just
he is. He's an immortal.
Yeah, he just seems really weird. Like he's that person on Facebook that you broke up with, but still tries to friend you.
It's like he hasn't changed, he hasn't evolved, he hasn't adapted so much. Like, yes, he's got technology, but he's not the one doing that. He's got scientists and people and different things that are creating that stuff for him. But it's like, if you lived for, 1,000 years or however long he's been alive, you'd start to see the change. You look at a person from 10 years ago to a person now, and you'd be like, oh, wow, that person's really changed and evolved and adapted and grew and... I get he doesn't age and whatever, but I'm just saying, like, his personality, like
his brain's still
everything is the same, and maybe that's a side effect of being an immortal. We don't know, but because of that, I'm not too thrilled. But then we look
at Carter and Kendra, and they've evolved with their brain, kind of thing. Yeah. I think maybe that's because they lose their memory to a certain extent.
And they're different people every time they get reborn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but still, that's what I think. I think it's like Sandwich is just kind of, he's like disconnected from the future kind of thing. He's still stuck back in the ancient Egypt times.
Yep. That's probably exactly why I don't like him.
Evolve, damn it, evolve!
Like an Animorph.
There you go.
That's all I... Do you have anything else to say? That's all I got.
Nope.
Dom, where can people find you turning into an Animorph?
Dragon Sword. Wrong. You find me at Phenomena, PHENOMEDOM.
That wasn't close. That wasn't even close. Rachel, where can they find you?
Tyrannosaurus.
You can find me at Twitter, right here. At Savannah17.
Wait, I'm wearing blue, so I'd be Triceratops.
You can find me at Cleomoto on Twitter, Twitch, and Pinterest. You can find all of us at ASOTV Podcasts on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, and right here on YouTube. Follow us for some more podcasts from some of your favorite TV shows, movies, and video games. Until next time, bye-bye.
We are VR.
Next thing you know, he's going to want to catch them all. It's going to mix all the cartoons together.
With the big bad Beetleborgs?